Hi everyone, Dr. Piontek here. I just wanted to go over with you Module 2 and what you will be completing for this module. So one of the assignments that you'll be doing this week is completing a short paper. It's the Population Health Definition and Culture of Wellness. There is a rubric that you can look at. It is here, and we'll go ahead and click into that. Let me download that and we'll show it to you. Okay, so basically gives you what I'd like for you to do. So there are various definitions of population health, including a definition on page 2 of your textbook. So what I would like for you to do is include the definition of your textbook, and then I want you to go outside of this course and look at the literature that's out there. So you could do like Google Scholar, you can definitely access the Holman Library, and maybe even look at other websites such as like the National Institute of Health, the CDC, and describe 2 additional definitions of population health. And I want you to, so with those 2 additional definitions, I want you to cite those. So what references did you use when you found those definitions? Okay, so it even says be sure to cite your references. And then what I want you to do, so you have the definition on page 2 of your text, the 2 additional definitions. What I want you to do then is devise your own definition of population health in your own words. So it's sort of like conceptualizing all 3 specific definitions of those references, but then come up with one that is your own. Secondly, you're going to be reading the Building Cultures of Health and Wellness and the pages prior to chapter 1 of your text, right? So you're going to access the literature and review these findings with at least 2 scholarly references that address the concepts covered in your text of the culture of health and wellness. All right, so you're going to have 4 references outside of your text. So you'll have your text, but then you'll have 4 additional references, 2 that come from the definition of population health and 2 from the culture of health and wellness. And then explain how moving toward a culture of health and wellness impacts clients and patients, and ultimately how you provide care. So then the paper must be written in APA format, so use your APA manual so you know if you're going to be using headings, where those headings need to be, how to construct a title page, and how to construct a reference page. Right? Your paper is going to be between 1.5 and 3 pages, and that's just the body of the paper. That does not include the title page and the reference pages. All right, so the body, the content of your paper is going to be between 1.5 and 3 pages. So if you have a title page and 1 reference page, you're already looking at 3.5 to 5 pages in length. Make sure that the literature is recent. For this paper, I'm going to allow the last 7 years. Most of the papers that you write with this program is within the last 5, but I'm going to extend it to the last 7 years. Make sure that your references are scholarly, that they're peer-reviewed. And if you use sites such as the CDC, IOM, Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, those are all okay. Just do not use wikis, blogs, news reports, WebMD. These are not typically considered scholarly. All right. So then below that is the actual rubric and how the points are broken down. And so I have in here a deduction for every page exceeding 3 pages, a 10% per page. You don't really have to look at that too much. This rubric was kind of carried over from another person who had constructed the class. If you have more to put into your paper, that's fine. So, you know, again, you don't really have to pay too much attention to that. I would rather you guys have a nice, solidly built paper. And like I said, if you have to write a little bit beyond that. Now, don't get too crazy and, you know, if the body of your paper is more than 5 pages, now we're getting a little crazy, okay? Try to keep it around the 3-page paper length, but if you go a little bit beyond that, I'm not going to take off that 10%, okay? I still have to use this rubric because there are other instructors who are teaching this course, and we all have to use the same rubrics. But I know sometimes if you do 3 pages plus a paragraph in the 4th page, I don't want you to feel like you're going to get points taken off for that, because sometimes paper they do run over. Okay. All right. So getting back to our course. So you'll be writing that paper, and then you'll be participating in the discussion board. Again, your initial post needs to be supported with a scholarly peer-reviewed reference, and then you'll be responding to at least 2 of your peers in the discussion board. You'll be reviewing the video on upstream thinking. You will need to read, do the reading in the text, and then this is before chapter 1, so these are the pages that you will find. And then I want you to review this PDF document from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, The Nurse's Role in Building a Culture of Health. I've also included the socio-ecological model. This is a PowerPoint presentation that basically just describes the different levels within this model that all really impact the health outcomes of our populations. And then the final thing that I wanted to talk to you about is the group contract. So towards the end of this course, you're going to be working on a group project. The groups have already been assigned, and you can find that up here in the groups tab of who your group mates are. And what I want for you to do is devise a contract. And let's just go into that. Okay, so you're going to read this all through here, and then you're going to actually complete each one of these items. So list the group members. How are you going to communicate with your group? Now, this all has to be the same for each one of your group members. So this would require collaboration with your group members in order to construct this group contract. Okay, so this is going to be due at the end of Module 3, but get working on it now, because like I said, you will need to contact your group mates and you're going to complete this group contract. And each of you will be submitting the contract in Module 3. So let's just skip ahead to Module 3. And you're going to submit your contract here. Okay? So the reason behind the group contract is because I've done groups in the past, and it never fails that there was a miscommunication in timelines, there was a miscommunication in who was going to be doing what. So when you look at your group contract, it's going to be beneficial for you to flip ahead, or to go ahead and look at the assignment itself. So that is the share presentation. All right, so when you go into, for example, if you just pop up here to syllabus, rubrics, and calendar, and you go down to the rubrics, you'll see the share rubric. So let me pull that up. Okay, so this is what your share presentation is going to be about. All right, so as you're filling out your contract with your group, it's going to be a good idea to keep this on hand and then determine who is going to be doing what for this assignment. And keep that contract nearby, so that way when you and your group mates are working on your project together, you're going to know who is going to be doing what, who has chosen to do the first 3 sections, for example, of the share presentation. So I hope this helps with everything for this module. We'll go back in and just remind you about where the drop box is for your population health definition and culture of wellness that is down here. So you'll submit your paper here. And you'll submit this as an attached file. Please do not copy and paste your paper into the comment section because it shows up in a very small, narrow margin and it's very difficult for me to read. So this will need to be submitted as an attached file. So when you click on this, you're going to attach a file here. Browse my computer. And then you'll, once you type out your paper in a Word document, you're going to save it and obviously retrieve that from either your desktop or your documents on your computer and attach it here. And then don't forget to submit. Okay. It is worth 10 points. So I think that pretty much covers everything. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to either call me or email me. I do have another conference this week, unfortunately. So office hours, I have to move from this Wednesday to Friday again, from 9 to 10. But from here on out, the rest of the year, with the exception of February, I should be done with conferences. So a lot of times they just put them at the very beginning of the school year, and it's kind of madness for the first 2 weeks. But after that, things do start to fall into place. But I will have internet access, so I will be able to answer any emails, take any phone calls, that sort of thing. So I hope all of you have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.